Today's the day I finally figure out how to sharpen a knife properly. I hope. I have sharpened knives on lots of different things. Here's some whetstones. I used to have this old, or I still do, but this old Smith's sharpening set. I've tried some pull-through sharpeners, a couple from County-Com, as well as the Ready Edge, I believe it is. None of them have quite gotten an edge where I want it to be. Let's check out this Ozark Grail here through some paper just to give it a quick, it'll kind of cut once we get into it. Not where I want my edge to be, especially, we're running a YouTube channel. Want to have those cool paper cutting shots at the end of the video. So we're going to hopefully get over that hump today with this Precision Adjust sharpening system from Worksharp. This runs about 60 bucks. And after adding up all of those things that I've purchased in the past to try and learn how to sharpen knives properly, this turns out to have been a better deal. I'll mention one other sharpener. I don't have the full thing here. These are the plates from the Worksharp field sharpener, and I have had luck with that, so I really do like sharpening on those diamond plates. But I found that it is inconsistent for me. I'll get through sharpening and find I didn't do a great job, and have to start over to get a good edge back on. I've tested this Worksharp Precision Adjust setup a couple of times now, have had very, very consistent results, and that makes all the difference. So let's get into it. Let's start putting it together. So it comes in a couple of different pieces, but it's pretty simple setup. I'll start by saying I am not an expert at this. I have played around with it a few times, watched a couple of videos from Neves Knives. I do recommend those if you're getting into sharpening, but I wanted something that was dummy proof for someone who doesn't know how to sharpen very well and just wants to touch up their EDC blade every once in a while. So that's where this comes in. Got the clamp here. I'm just trying to get that about centered on the knife blade. I always push that blade all the way back into the crevice so I can get repeatable results, or at least close to it. And then this just magnetizes in. There's a little button you can press on the back to flip the blade over. If you've got a longer blade, you may have to remove that and flip it. I found that with some kitchen knives I was testing this out on in the past. And then this comes with a 3-position stone. There's an upgraded version that comes with more, and I think you can add stones on in the future if you have. But this 320, they're calling this grit, the coarse grit, so to speak. 800, it looks like. Oh, no, excuse me, 600. The light is fooling my eye. And then a ceramic stone. And without stropping, I've had really good results. I am going to be testing out some stropping options in the near future, so stick around for that. As far as the blade angle, it's adjustable here with, you probably can't see this knob up here at the top. Will raise and lower that. I've been going about 20 degrees. If you guys have recommendations on a blade angle for an EDC folder like this, let me know. And then this rod just magnetizes in. Again, I don't want to try and pretend I'm an expert here, but I just want to show you how someone who doesn't know what they're doing like me can get this working. I'm going to come in with a permanent marker here, just a Milwaukee marker, and just touch this edge here. Because I have sharpened this a few different ways in the past, I don't know if what this bevel angle is. So I'm going to set that to 20. We're going to sharpen until we get that. I can see through the camera the light's not completely, it still makes that edge look shiny, but I can see it off camera here. Gonna have to hold this base a little bit, and I'm reaching around camera. And what I've been doing, maybe this isn't advised, but what I've been doing is just coming in with some circular passes on the first sharpening. So the first sharpening on a new knife or a knife that I haven't sharpened on this before, I'm just gonna get some strong passes in to try and set that beveling, and then we'll be a little bit more gentle going forward. And I believe we're actually at a pretty good angle here. I don't see any, what I'm looking for is just any sharpening marks left behind. If I pull out, this is the Ready Edge I've been using, testing this knife on, or testing with this knife recently. It's a 40-degree bevel, so that's 20 degrees per side. So that might explain why we're already at that angle. What I would normally do is just go until I get rid of all of that Sharpie mark, and that would tell me that I have properly reset that bevel. I'm going to lift this off camera just so I can see it a little bit better. It does look, I can actually see a bit of Sharpie left on the leading edge of this. So we are going to keep going. I might fast forward or cut ahead here, but all we're doing is trying to make sure we've got that bevel fully set, and we will come right back. So about 2 or 3 minutes into that, and this is definitely the longest process, and I think I've got a fairly consistent edge. The other thing I'm looking for here is that the thickness of that bevel is consistent all the way along the edge of the blade. I could probably do a better job, but we're doing a video, so we'll keep on trucking through it. But I've removed all of that Sharpie off that edge, and that means we've got completely fresh material and we have properly set that bevel angle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over, do the exact same thing, and I'm going to try and make sure that this bevel is the same thickness as the one on the other side. That's going to make sure our edge is centered in the blade itself. You can also take a look at the tip, if I can get this to focus. It'll definitely be hard to see on camera, and just that's a point where they kind of meet and you can see if the bevel is matched on both sides. So we're going to flip this over. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Again, just looking for a consistent edge along the blade and making sure we've removed any of the Sharpie I'm about to add so that we know we've got our bevel angle set completely. Be right back after that's done. All right, about 5 minutes on that side. As I looked at the blade tip in the light, like so, focus, it did look like it was leaning to one side, maybe a little bit still, but it looks a lot better. We've got kind of a consistent thickness edge on both sides now, and it's consistent all the way along. One note, you don't want to press, I've heard you don't want to press too hard on this. It's not a perfectly rigid system, and these diamond plates don't need a lot of pressure, so just nice even strokes there. I'm already starting to feel a burr on the bottom side, which is a good sign. So I'm going to go to what I would consider finishing passes here. And for these, instead of doing those circular patterns, which are just to get away as much material as you can, as quick as you can, we're going to do a lot more consistent, steady swipes. And you want to be moving across the blade as you move up. So you can see we're just doing this. It's hard to see behind camera, but we're going to get a nice, a much better edge quality this way, it seems. So let's do a few more passes. And then to check for that burr, all I'm doing is just dragging my fingernail across the underside. And if it kind of clicks, let's see if we can hear it. If it kind of clicks as it comes past, I can know that there is a burr there. This back end's a little wobbly. If you guys have tips for something like that, seems like the stock is a little bit thicker there, and I don't want to have to just grind all the way down, but we'll do a couple more finishing passes here. We do have a consistent burr across the whole back side of the blade, and that is key. So we will just finish this up, and we'll flip the knife over. Now, I think I need to pull it out to do so, because I flipped it over without using the little rotating mechanism. That's okay. Now we're going to use that same stone on this side. We're going to do a few passes, and hopefully what we're going to do is we're going to take that burr, and the burr is just a little bit of metal that's kind of curling up, and right now it's facing up. We're going to try and flip it back down, and that's going to tell us we're done with this grit of stone. So a couple passes here. Again, we're using that slower technique. I'm probably not doing the best job because I'm doing it under the camera, but that's okay. Just what's awesome about this is while it's not a perfectly rigid system, it really does provide just enough stability that you're not going to go off angles and do weird stuff like all of us amateur sharpeners might tend to do on a freehand system. So just passing. I'm doing 2 passes per. I probably could do 1 longer stone, maybe nice on a blade of this length, but maybe I'm crazy. So I'm just going to check to see if there's a burr. I'm starting to get one there in the center. Definitely got one near the tip. Don't have one near the back. I'm not going to over focus the back, but I will give it a little extra attention. Still trying to keep that blade edge even, so we're not going to over. We're still going to touch up the rest until that burr forms nicely. I will continue this until I'm happy, and we'll jump right back. Okay, that only took a couple more swipes. What's nice is those finishing passes, that's all you're going to need to do on future sharpenings, and if that's even required, because we've established that proper edge geometry on those first kind of roughing passes. So I'm going to swap over to that 600 grit stone. It's all in one little mechanism here on this Worksharp, and we'll swap over to that 600 grit. Now I've got the burr on, make sure I got this right, on the bottom. Yes. Okay, I've got the burr on the bottom right now, so we're going to flip the knife back over, swap to that 600 grit stone, and continue the process. So again, nice and gentle, and it's not going to take too many passes here, and hopefully we are not far from having a finished edge here to demonstrate on camera with the classic paper test. I'm just going to check now and see if that burr, it is going to be a smaller burr as we go up in the grits. Got a little bit towards the front end, but that back end is still fighting us just a little bit. So we're just going to keep on trucking along here. And the tip and the back end are going to tend to move away from the stone, so you really don't want to use too much pressure there. Just repeat the process till it's done. And I'll use this opportunity to ask you guys, you got any sharpening tips? Because like I said, I am not great at it. Doing a video on it to help myself learn about it, as well as to show that even if you're as clumsy as I am, you can get a nice edge on your blade. Definitely got a burr at the front end, and we've got a little burr at the back end. It might fall off just a little bit at that very back. So yeah, if you guys have tips on sharpening better, or tools you like to use for this, let me know in the comments below. I think that's good for now. I'm going to flip that knife over. And again, we're just going to work that burr back until it's down on the bottom side again. Just keep flipping that burr. And we'll continue here until I feel that burr on the bottom side, and then we will jump right back into the video. Okay, that burr has fully formed. We're going to flip the knife right back over. I'm going to come in with the ceramic stone here. Now, I've seen a couple of different guidances on this. What I'm probably going to do is a couple passes and then flip the knife, do a couple passes, and then work our way down to about 1 pass per side. So maybe 3 or 4 or 5 because I'm recording a video and it feels satisfying. We're going to flip that knife right back over. And this ceramic stone is very smooth, really does not require too much, but we're going to do repeated passes on each side in order to get this thing looking nice. And we're just kind of, if I understand correctly, straightening out that edge. That burr we've formed, we're now kind of rotating back and forth until it breaks and is straight. And I'm probably overdoing it because I'm talking at the same time, but that's okay. Just a nice even pass on both sides. Doesn't need a lot of pressure, just working that burr off. And we'll do a pass or 2, and then a pass or 2. If I don't feel like I got to the tip, I kind of tend to do a second pass. I don't know if that's good or not, but we're learning, and that's okay. All right. I'm guessing that this is about ready for testing. Now, a lot of people would say you definitely need to strop this knife, and I don't disagree, but that's outside the purview of this video. So we are going to test this as is. Hopefully that is nice and sharp. We'll just go ahead and pop out the magnetic holder here, loosen it up, give it a quick wipe off. It's plenty of, sorry for the camera shake, plenty of residue. Let's take a look at the edge too. So it seems okay there. Maybe a little thin on that right side. Maybe I could have taken a little bit more off in that roughing pass. That's something we can always correct, but the question is it sharp? So let me get this cleaned off just briefly here. Quick wipe at least. And let's grab that paper from before and find out if this is going to pass muster. That is sharp enough for YouTube, I'll tell you that much. If you can't see me struggling, that's very sharp. Let me roll up my sleeve here. I'm going to do a quick shaving test. Oh yeah, that is shaving sharp. And again, I don't know what I'm doing. So that is what I love about this Worksharp Precision Adjust setup, is it lets someone like me who doesn't really know what they're doing, kind of has an idea of how knife sharpening works, but if you guys want to see someone who does know, check out Neve's Knives. That's where I've gotten a lot of inspiration for sharpening knives, but he's got videos on this specific setup and some changes he's made to it. That was really inspiring, but I wanted to give it a newbie's perspective here. And yeah, this Ozark Grail knife, it's D2 steel, I believe, so your mileage may vary depending on the steel of the knife you're using, but that was really simple. Was it quick? Maybe not, but it was very simple, and that's what I like about this setup, is it makes it hard for someone like me to screw it up, even with an imperfect sharpening like I just did. It is shaving sharp. It'll cut through paper like you wouldn't believe. And you can change, if you want a more robust edge, you can of course change that angle. One note is this is not necessarily the exact angle you're sharpening at. I've seen, I think one of the Worksharps comes with a digital angle finder, so you can get it very consistent. It's also not the most unmovable system, but it's good enough for people like me to get a decent edge without doing it multiple times. And I'll mention that's the reason that when I put this knife in here, I always try and center it up and push it all the way back into that groove there. You can see there's the movable teeth and then the fixed teeth. And that way, if I set it back to 20 degrees, it should be pretty close on future attempts. We're going to be testing out some stropping options in the near future. So if you have any recommendations, let me know down below. And if you want to see that video, make sure to hit subscribe. I think that's everything. I'm glad that this worked out well. We're going to go through a bunch more knives in the near future, and we will catch you then. Till then, this Ozark Grail is going back in my pocket.